We've all had battles where it looks like an absolutely terrible defeat is incoming. You are one of the only players left on your team, and you're literally up against 7 or 6 players on the enemy team, and they're all quite healthy. And you're thinking to yourself, how the hell am I gonna win this battle? Most of the time, you don't. And that's what I was expecting for not only this game you're going to watch here, but the second battle I'm going to be showcasing that I managed to play as well today. But against all odds, somehow, I was able to win both games you're going to watch today. Now, I had no right in winning either of these games, but whether it was sheer luck, perseverance, or a bit of both, we were able to come out with 2 absolutely insane games. Originally, I was just going to make a video on this replay today, and then I played my 2 and 5B and got another game that was literally the same as this one on levels of intensity and overall insane outcome. So, enough hyping up the replays. Let's actually talk about what's going on here. So I'm in the VZ55, a tank that I've been messing around with quite a lot. I like the gun a lot. I like the armor. I think the overall playstyle is very solid, and it's just a really good tank in general for getting the job done. It's not an amazing tank. I think the Super Conk and even Type 71 can do a lot better due to the fact, say, of better hull-down capabilities or armor, especially because of that right there. That was a very easy shot on the E100, and it just absolutely missed. But I digress. This game is starting off to not look very good. I get a shell into the Sheridan, but in that process, the Sheridan gets a shell into my Tortoise. And now the 4005 is on my Tortoise. Now, I'm not really sure what the Sheridan's pathing was, to be completely honest, because he allowed me to take a nice 600 HE off of his vehicle, but oh boy, look at this game right now. I mean, this is like watching a comp battle almost. The enemy team is perfectly flanking and destroying what I'm looking at currently, which is the poor Tortoise. So I have tanks on my front, but I also have tanks on my rear, and a lot of them, and they're quite healthy as well. The T-30's full health, and the Minnow's still quite healthy, but we are able to finish off the enemy 4005, which is a start. Now we need to clear the Sheridan, and this is where things, well, they get a little bit sus. This Sheridan honestly almost lost me the game, because I have a pretty easy shot on him, over pokes, and it hits the 4005 gun barrel. Rather irritating, because I'm really trying to deal with this behind me. Right now, if I could just turn around and not deal with the Sheridan, I could easily help out my teammates. But the problem is, if I turn around, I'm allowing the deadliest tank on the enemy team to get away. So I can't do that. I just can't allow that to happen. So I missed the second shell on the Sheridan again. And now I'm aiming in my third shell, expecting this to miss. And finally, the shell penetrates the Sheridan. Just in time for me to basically get absolutely molested by the enemy. But we're going to give it our best shot. We get a shell into the E100. Something I do absolutely love about the VZ is the fact that it features a fantastic gun on penetration. I mean, the APCR is so dang nice. It just butters through armor. So, first shot, we penetrate. Now we've got the T-30 below us, and I know where the Minnow is, because I'd seen the Minnow just a moment ago. So, the Minnow's right in front of us. Easy pen, right into his lower plate. There you go. Okay, we're up to 3,600 damage, but there's a serious problem. Even though the E100's a one-shot to me, and this T-30 I can probably kill if I'm able to take my time. The problem is I can't take my time. Look at the base cap. It's at 900, so I don't have a choice. Either way, I was thinking I'm going to lose this game, so I might as well jump in. Right now, I was just hoping that this T-30 was really bad, and he was going to allow me to face hug him, and he wasn't going to pen me. So I'm shooting at the T-30. The main thing I'm trying to hide is my hatch. I know my upper plate's incredibly strong. T-30 shoots an HE at me, which honestly isn't a terrible decision. I only have 175 health. Realistically, if this T-30 just pens me, I die. So the T-30 fixes his fuel tank. We get a nice fire, and the T-30 misses. Oh my god. And then we light him on fire again. I don't know what to say. I legitimately do not know what to say. So that game right there, we were able to come out with a victory. A 5,800 damage victory, where we won versus 3 DAR opponents and made 335,000 credits. That is an absolutely insane amount of credits for a tier 10 battle, especially a tech tree. So this was a crazy game. Not only did we win, but we also got a crazy amount of awards, being a high caliber, a Kolobanov's, and as well, a mastery. So I really can't complain. Plus, we got a Radley Walters. Just What a stupid first battle. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. That game is an appetizer, because the second game we're going to break into is on the FE2 and 5B. Now, I was streaming to my friend, who actually gets me all the information that I share with you guys on Blitz News, and I told him, I said, you know what? Autoloaders are obviously busted right now, and I said the Kron is kind of just an amazing tank in general for tier 10. But you know what I also feel is a really strong tank for holding? And he said, what? And I said, the FE2 and 5B. And he was like, really, you're joking, right? Because the 2 and 5B doesn't have armor. And I said, well, the thing about the 2 and 5B is that right now, the player base is massively unskilled. They love to YOLO in the open. And the FE2 and 5B greatly benefits off of people making mistakes due to the fact that the gun has massive penetration and it's got Hesh penetration. It's got 515 damage per shot, so it's got the alpha, it's got the pen, plus it's got crazy good accuracy, great DPM, and it's actually got a very strong turret. But the downsides of the 2 and 5B is that it's rear turreted and it has no armor. But look at that. Already the first shell, a 492 damage high explosive into the side of that E50. Not really sure why that E50 poked me, but I'll take it. Not too bad. So at this point, I'm thinking maybe I can jump off and get a shell into the E50. I didn't want to fully commit, but oh boy. Why is the enemy 2 and 10 E3 camping in the back? Nobody will know. To be honest, that E3 definitely lost the enemy that game. Once again, people don't understand that sitting in the back of the map with heavily armored tank destroyers is not helping your team, even though it is a TD. The E3, the Minnow, the Badger, all those tanks are frontline heavies, so use them like it. So in this game, I have decided, okay, the E50 is not the best decision right now, because of the fact my team is getting butchered. Nobody wanted to go mid, which I believe is still the most important spot on Normandy to hold, but unfortunately nobody wanted to go mid. I've got my Object 777 in mid, which I'm going to try and support right now. I know that 4005 is going to rush him, but I also need to be careful because I'm not in a tank that can afford to be rushed by the 4005 either. But we get a nice shell into the 4005. The player's not running small liner, but uh-oh. Oof, okay. My 777 got very lucky that... what the heck was that? I was going to say my 777 got lucky that the 4005 did not manage to kill him, but then he died anyway. But also, what the heck was that bounce on the T-57 Heavy? I mean, the T-57 is such a stupid tank when it comes to armor. Now, at this point, I'm trying to think of what the best decision is to do. There's an E50 on my rear, and even though we do find out this E50 stock once I drive over here because he bounces me for 220, I'm still in the thought process that, even though it's stock, it still has very solid DPM. And I don't want to put myself in a position, especially like the FE2 and 5B, where I got this massive booty, for this E50 to just farm me while I'm trying to sit in the front line. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kill this E50, and I was really mad right now. I was complaining a lot that I had to drive all the way over here to kill this E50 because now I can't help out my teammates. But thankfully, my 4005 makes the right play and sticks next to me. We got the Kron in the back. Unfortunately, the shell misses, and now my 268 version 4 is going to start to yell at me because apparently I was camping this game. But, oh well, we'll see if we can keep going. So, I got the E3. I'm going to aim in an HE on the heshable spot. Unfortunately, the first shell does not pen. Trying to penetrate an E3 that is hull down is very, very hard to do, especially when it's against like a tank like mine that doesn't have the craziest pen. But look at that, right into the little hatch on the E3. We're able to get a nice 500 damage shot. We're aiming onto the side of the E3, and just unfortunately, my APCR does not have the penetration to cut through. But it's not actually that bad of a situation right now. I'm trying to help out this 4005, but he's put himself in an absolutely terrible position. And he's also not running the super speed boost for some reason. He's running the trash speed boost. So, rather interesting. He's also got shell reload boost activated when it doesn't matter. So, he's obviously not the best. He didn't do bad, to be fair, but he's definitely got room for improvement. And right now, I'm trying to do my best to hold. I get a shell into the 210E3 superstructure. Something very nice about the 2-5B is that it can do that. I'm trying to take shells for my 4005 so that he doesn't die. I get a nice Hesh shell, killing the Ag Tiger. And the 4005 is still alive. He doesn't die. He does have Spall, which is nice. So again, I'm going to aim it on the E3, and what the heck is that? I've got .277 dispersion, and that's what my shell does, bro. Alright, well, I'm aiming it on the Kron, and watch this. He turns his turret to the side, allows me to pen it, and it bounces! Really, really, really. You do not know how much I was molding right now. I mean, That probably took years off of my life watching that. And then don't worry, my APCR shell bounces the lower plate of the E3. Ooh, I was not happy. So, we shoot at the E3, and our shell does not pen, which is kind of expected, but the shell does kill the E3's driver. And because it kills the T-110 E3's driver, he tries driving out to kill me. But because he's not a turreted tank, he has to show his track wheel. So, I shoot a shell into his track wheel, just like that. And now, I'm going to get into a side scrape, in 3, 2, 1, shoot! We were able to win, even though this battle looked like an absolute defeat, and legitimately one of the craziest games I've played in a while. We blocked 3,300 in an FE2 and 5B, and did 5,790 damage. 2 crazy games dealing basically the same damage in situations that I had no right to win those games. Now, I wanted to showcase this second battle for 2 reasons. First of all, because it was a crazy game. Second of all, I wanted to once again prove why calibrated shells is the correct option on any tank in the game. There are so many people out there that will try to make the argument that gun rammer is more important than calibrated shells. And I can tell you for a fact that in the game that you just witnessed, I would not have been able to penetrate that T-110E3 in that weak spot that I did in that last moment. There's no way we would have died and we would have lost the game. Yes, while having a faster reload is sometimes more beneficial, and it could win you a game, being able to penetrate opponents that you would have otherwise not been able to pen is much, much more important, at least in my eyes. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.